Good afternoon. It's 4 p.m. We bring you the developing news and the stories behind the headlines. This is StoryCon. I'm Regina Lay. Some stories we're watching this Wednesday, May 26th. President Bongbong Marcos is back in the country after attending the ASEAN Summit in Malaysia. Speaking to reporters, he addressed several controversies, starting with calls for his resignation, which he firmly rejected, saying he does not run from problems. Marcos also then clarified that the courtesy resignation amongst his cabinet is part of a rigorous performance review, and that he's not doing it just for optics. The president also confirmed that he has chosen the next chief of the Philippine National Police, though he has yet to make the name public. And on the impeachment case against Vice President Sara Duterte, Marcos maintains that he had no hand in it. And once again, he says that he does not believe in it and that it will lead to political, or rather he does not believe it will lead to political chaos. At the two-day ASEAN Summit, Marcos actively pushed to expedite a legally binding code of conduct in the South China Sea. There was no consensus on that, but ASEAN members did agree on an approach on our response to U.S. tariffs. Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim said that the region agreed that any deal negotiated with Washington should ensure the protection of ASEAN's interest as a whole. On the sidelines of the summit, President Marcos had a chance to talk to Chinese Premier Li Qiang, wherein Li said they themselves, as in the Chinese side, don't want a trade war. Today, after landing back in Manila, the president went straight to Bulacan upon landing for a visit to the Metro Pacific Fresh Farms in San Rafael. He was joined by Metro Pacific Investments Corporation Chair Manny Pangilinan, whose subsidiary operates the facility. Agriculture Secretary Francisco Tiu Laurel was also in attendance. This is the first and largest greenhouse facility in the Philippines, spanning a total of 3.5 hectares. The Metro Pacific Fresh Farms is expected to produce 500 metric tons of different produce annually. Later in the day, Marcos also inspected a National Food Authority warehouse in San Ildefonso, Bulacan. Former Negros Oriental Congressman Arnie Teves is now detained in Timor-Leste. Lawyer Ferdinand Topacio claimed that his client was taken from his residence in Dili on Tuesday evening. For its part, the Department of Justice is still awaiting clarity from Timor-Leste on whether Teves will be deported or extradited. The expelled congressman is facing a string of cases, of course, including the murder of Negros Oriental Governor Roel Digamo. And the Armed Forces of the Philippines has dispelled rumors of an internal unrest. AFP Chief of Staff General Romeo Browner Jr. stressed that there would be no coup d'etat under his leadership. He also warned those allegedly spreading disinformation. And the Atin Ito Coalition is currently holding its concert off of Pag-asa Island in the West Philippine Sea. But due to inclement weather, the artists performed inside the TS Capitan Felix Oca. Prior to the concert, the coalition sang the Philippine National Anthem, and just in time for the National Flag Day that began today. Okay, joining us today, StoryCon's resident political pundit, Ronald Llamas. Wala pa pala. They're still trying to call him. And from the Philippine Star Editor-in-Chief, Ami Pamintuan. Hi, Ami.
Hi, Reg. Girls muna ngayon, girls.
Oo nga, tayo lang. Ed is also out today, and we are still trying Ronald Llamas. Before we get to the news...
Nanonood pa yata siya eh.
Hindi nga, hindi siya sumabay sa... Well, wala siya dun sa barko, is what we hear.
Yeah, but he's watching the video. His stream.
But wait, before we get to the news, just a very quick disclaimer on the news item that I read. Of course, I read about President Marcos visiting Metro Pacific Fresh Farms. Of course, Signal, the parent company of One News, is part of the MVP group of companies. So it's something that we always mention whenever we cover their stories, out of transparency, of course. Oo nga. So atin ito, coalition is there. And President Marcos
Yeah.
is back, from ASEAN Summit. And
Yeah.
ang dami niya sinabi sa press con.
Oo nga eh, dagdag ko lang, yeah. Related dun sa visit na sa NFA, sabi niya, he's addressing the doubts about the sustainability of the 20 a kilo rice. Sabi niya, watch me sustain it.
Yes, exactly.
Oo.
Kasi
Tapos siya.
yun yung exact question. How can you sustain it? Sabi niya, watch me sustain it.
Yeah.
They found a way daw. May idea ka, what the way is? Ano yung what he's referring to?
E di, more of our money. Subsidy. Pera natin yan subsidy yan. Baka may new taxes na naman sila.
Well, there are new taxes kicking in next week,
Yes.
yung digital tax, yung 12%
Yes.
digital tax, right? That is...
Kasi that's a heavily subsidized price. Kasi ang pinakamura, ako lagi akong bumibili ng wholesale na ako by the kaban Ang pinaka mababa lang na nakikita ko although that was last month, 35
Yes, I agree.
35 a kilo.
Oo. Ako din
That's
sa...
a retail, retail.
Ako din sa grocery, when I go to the grocery, mga ganung price din range, mga 35 to 40, sometimes nga 42 a kilo.
Yeah.
So malayo yung 20 pesos.
Nag-soften siya actually the past 2 months. Medyo bumaba na siya. Pero hindi siya ganyan talaga heavily subsidized yan.
Oo. And the plan is roll out to all of nationwide
Yeah.
So malaki-laking supply ang kailangan doon. That's the question.
Malaki-laking pera.
Oo. So or maybe kasi he made mention of the fact na they're working out deals with other countries to lower the prices of rice. Hindi ko lang alam if there's something there that we're not seeing na baka naman meron talagang rice
Yeah,
deal.
yung other countries na yan, market prices yan, world market prices yan. And world market prices have actually been softening the past few months. Kaya inaasahan nga nila na dapat bumaba na rin dito sa atin, kaso hindi nangyayari.
That's true. Meron ding one of the things that from that press con during the ASEAN Summit that struck me was when President Marcos was asked, of course, about the potential reconciliation with the Dutertes. We have that soundbite, if we could just play it quickly.
Pero sasabihin mo, hindi ako makikipag-usap hanggang ibigay mo sa akin ito. Wala pupuntahan na.
Yeah, and that condition
Tapos
is
na. That's not reconciliation.
Bring
That's
SPRD home daw po.
That's not even a negotiation. That's demanding. Wala nang pupuntahan yun. Tapos na ang usapan. Kung kaya ko ayusin, di ayusin ko para tapos na to. Ayoko nga ng kaaway.
Actually, inulit niya yung sinabi niya. I think that was last week also. Sinabi na rin niya yan.
Yes.
There should be no preconditions
Yes.
for reconciliation. And Malacanang also said the same thing.
Yes. Ang funny lang is naputol siya, but in this the start of the soundbite, he goes no. Maraming no yun when he was asked, are you open to the conditions that the other side is setting? And I guess by that, ang ibig nila sabihin doon is, for instance, Senator Bongo said, well, yes, they're open to reconciliation if they bring back Duterte first. Diba? Tapos tinanong naman si Presidente about his reaction and sabi niya, no. Marami. Natawa lang ako when I saw that.
Non-starter naman kasi yung condition na yan. Alam naman natin hindi. It's beyond the government's control at this point, no? ICC. Magsiswearin lang si Duterte, you have to get ICC approval.
Correct.
Diba?
Correct. Oo.
Eh di lalo na, hindi mo na mabalik yun.
Oo.
Anyway, and the president is also downplaying surveys, no? Na bumababa yung niya. Also in the press conference, sabi niya meron din namang ibang mapagkukunan pa ng mga poll results.
I mean, play ko lang din yung soundbite na yun. We also have that if we could just have it for those who haven't listened.
Well, again, let's look at other surveys before we act. Know your source. That's always a imperfect information makes you make imperfect decisions. The more perfect your information, the more perfect your decision will be. That is one source of information, and you have to understand where it's actually coming from.
Masaya siya, no?
Natatawa. Natatawa din ako kasi natatawa siya. So I don't know what he was...
Kaya nga.
Yeah, so if I understood him correctly, kasi medyo putol-putol yung sagot, he's questioning the provenance of the surveys. Tama ba?
Yes.
Parang sabi
Na
niya...
maraming, well, there are several survey firms, I guess, at iba-iba naman yung ano. Yan ang sinasabi niya.
But the
Na
what...
you might be able to get different results. Di ba?
But of course, the one that we use, we only use mga tatlo lang naman, di ba? Okta,
Yes, about
Pulse,
3.
Asia, SWS.
And
yung,
SWS.
and yung latest that we got was SWS. Sorry, Pulse Asia yata yun. Yung
Pulse
last,
Asia.
yung last week, wherein
Pulse Asia.
wherein his trust ratings are far below VP Saras na at this point. And ang kakaiba dun sa survey na yun is sinama pa nila si former President Digong
Yes.
in that survey.
Kaya
Na 65% yung trust rating versus President Marcos nasa 32% if I recall correctly. So yun yung survey that we were asking, the media was asking him about, pero yun nga, that was his response. He was also asked about the impeachment trial na at which point medyo I think
Yes.
nainis na siya. So let's roll that soundbite if we can.
How many times do we have to say that? I didn't want impeachment. Lahat ng kakampi ko sa Kongreso hindi nag-file ng impeachment complaint. Yung mga nag-file ng impeachment complaint, hindi mo masasabing kaya kong utusan o pagsabihan na ito yung gagawin mo.
Well, to put that in context, no, impeachment is a political process eh. Pwede ka naman mag-file, hindi yan naandar kung hindi i-endorse ng chamber. Di ba? And the supermajority endorsed the impeachment complaint kaya napunta sa Senado. And remember, the first signatory to the impeachment complaint was the son of President Marcos,
Correct.
si Sandro. Di ba?
And the
Kaya
last
medyo mahirap-hirap yung mahirap-hirap na inuwan siya na hindi sinuportahan ng administrasyon yung impeachment.
and the
Siguro
last
siya personally,
Oo.
he can say, because he has been consistent in saying na, di ba, ayaw niya yung impeachment, what good will it do? Yun yung kanyang public pronouncement from the start.
The first signatory, as you pointed out, Ami, was si Congressman Sandro, and the last
Sandro.
signatory was si House Speaker mismo. So parang at that time,
Yes.
people were seeing it as quite meaningful na yung
Yes.
yung the ones closest to the president are the first and the last signatory. Tapos kaya nga so when we heard this part of the press con, I mean, I didn't know how to reconcile it with what's already happened kasi how can he say na yung kaalyado niya sa Congress hindi nag-file? Baka he meant it as a technicality, as in hindi literally nag-file. Pero they signed, right? They
signed.
They endorsed the
Hindi yun ang
impeachment.
nag-initiate.
Oo.
Hindi kakampi niya nag-initiate. Sila akbayan yan eh. Yung remember, yun yung mga nag-initiate nun eh, na hindi nga niya kakampi. Pero, sino nagsuporta? Kasi you can file 100 impeachment complaints, pwede hindi umandar yan eh.
Oo.
Hindi siya andar sa Senado.
Correct.
Kung walang suporta, it's a numbers game. Alam naman natin yun eh.
Correct.
Impeachment complaint.
Oo.
And speaking of that impeachment, may one of the contenders for the incoming Senate presidency, si Tito Soto, sabi niya, duda daw siya. And he's saying that because he was the one who crafted the rules in the impeachment, and he participated in 2 impeachment processes already, impeachment trials. Sabi niya, medyo nagdududa siya kung pwedeng ituloy sa 20th Congress kahit maumpisahan ngayon yung proseso ng trial, which is what Chis Escudero is saying, na pag naumpisahan mo yan, it's a institutional function eh. It's not based, sabagay, may katwiran din yon. It's not based on senators, it's like a court. No, a trial court, judicial court, na kahit umalis yung judge, pwedeng palitan, it will be the same court handling the case. Yun naman ang sinasabi ng kabila. So titingnan natin because it might actually be challenged.
Nako,
Inaasahan naman natin siguradong tatalon yun into the 20th Congress.
Oo, because di ba this next week they're already planning to read the formal charges, di ba? So they're convening as the impeachment court na next week para to read the formal charges against VP Sara. So technically nag-start na 'yon. So
Yun na yung start ng
tatawid
ano.
siya sa 20th Congress.
Yes, yun na yung start. So magki-carry over siya to the next Congress. Kaya titignan natin, pero alam naman yun ng prosecutor, they are expecting a challenge, I think, dyan sa kasong yan.
Oh, the problem is there's so many challenges, legal challenges right now that the courts are dealing with. Hindi lang Supreme Court, pati yung Court of Appeals, di ba? They're inundated with challenges at the moment. Si President Marcos din, in the same press conference, talked about how itong cabinet reset, the bold reset that he announced last week, 6 days na pala since then, they're doing a rigorous performance review daw, and that it may go deeper than cabinet level. And then he also said, hindi siya magre-resign because that what good will. Well, let's let him speak. We have that soundbite.
You know, I siguro by now, you know, I don't do things pang optics. If there is a problem, I like to fix it. So that's what we are doing. So expect us to be doing a rigorous performance review, not only at the cabinet level, but even deeper.
Meron din yung, if we could just, roll back to back the one of his, where he was asked about the resignation.
I will resign.
Yeah, that's what they want.
Ba't ko gagawin yun? At wala sa ugali ko yung tinatakbuhan ng problema. So, what good will that do?
Yun ba yung headline niya today, Ami?
Mas maganda sagot doon. Ano kayo siniswerte?
Ano yung headline niyo ngayon? Yung what good will it do? Pag,
Yung impeachment.
Yung impeachment. Na ayaw niya talaga. Pero
actually, ang nagtawag nung he was reacting to a call from Harry Roque. Si Harry Roque naman yung nagpaparesign sa kanya eh.
Oo.
Di ba?
Yeah.
Yan yung context ng question na yun. Pero ako, meron pa naman presidente dito nagre-resign.
Yeah.
Nag-mutiny na nga nung panahon ni Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo, di ba? And Corazon Aquino was leading the calls for the resignation. Wala nangyari.
Oo nga. But, I mean, feeling ko parang medyo coming from left field din yung question na resignation. Pero, you know, the whole point with the cabinet revamp is it's dragging on a bit. Kasi 6 days na since in-announce so far, ang alam pa lang natin, still the same names, economic team staying, may changes sa DFA, DENR, DOE. Pero yung frontline agencies, wala pa tayong balita at all. Yun nga yung importante, di ba? DA, DOH, DPWH, DSWD, wala. I don't know if you guys heard anything, Ami, pero kami, we're still
Kaya mukhang hindi mukhang hindi sabi ng mga mukhang hindi na to bold. Hindi na bold yung reset, nababagalan na mga tao. Saka yung iba are actually unhappy with the retention of some of the economic team members.
Yes. I was, this morning, I did the morning show. Kausap ko si JC Punungbayan, who's of course a professor at UP and he's also an economist. Sabi niya, if that were really a bold reset, sana pinalitan yung budget secretary because, you know, yung budget became a huge issue, right? And it became an election issue. So, bakit pinalagpas yung budget na ganon if there were problems to begin with?
Actually, ang may dyan, yung budget secretary submitted a national expenditure program. Ang nagmanggal ng budget was Congress.
Yes, correct.
Yan. Hindi actually si budget yun. Kung may sisisihin dyan, pwede mong sisihin si Ralph Recto because he was the one who defended strenuously yung pag-aano ng GOCCs,
Yes.
including PhilHealth, the impounding of GOCC excess funds, quote-unquote, para gamitin
Oo.
para sa i-divert sa unprogrammed
Unprogrammed
appropriations.
appropriations, correct. I remember
yan.
I remember he defended vigorously, even sa Supreme Court oral arguments, no?
Yes, yes,
Pinatawag
oo.
sila Finance Secretary Recto, pati na sila Soljan Guevara to defend
Yeah.
that.
Yes. O yan. Si
Oo, nandiyan na si-
yung professional heckler natin.
Let's bring in
Tapos
Ronald
sumunod ng
Llamas, the one and only professional pundit. Ronald, where are you?
Ayan, di na kailangan dahil sinabi na lahat ni Reg yung sasabihin ko tsaka ni Ami.
Oh. Ang layo mo sa camera, ha? Nasa azotea ka uli. Oh, ayan na, okay na.
Yan.
Okay na.
Oh, nasabi nyo na, wala na akong sasabihin.
Oh, hindi. Ano comment mo sa medyo nababagalan na mga tao dun sa
Oo,
sa bold reset.
6 days
Hindi
na,
daw bold.
Ronald. Asan na yung Big Bang?
Parang hindi bold reset eh. Parang hindi siya politically correct eh. Pwede ko ba sabihin?
Sige.
Oh, ba-
Parang striptease eh. Parang
Oo.
striptease.
Unti-unti.
No, hindi siya bold reset.
Oh.
So, tapos today, dapat maglalabas na siya ng second batch eh. Di ba? Oo.
Kadadating niya,
So hinihintay pa. Pero kahit yung nachichismis na ilalabas dapat today, hindi rin yung sinasabi yung frontline eh. Hindi ito yung mga
talaga?
major, no?
Oh.
Yung mga lumalabas na chismis ay yung migrant affairs, si Hans Kakdak, na medyo matino naman, tsaka malinis naman.
Yes.
Tapos hindi lang nga maingay, no? Silent worker. Yung isa ring lumalabas, ito, dapat matagal nang pinalitan, si Soljan Guevara. No? Soljan Guevara, dahil malinaw naman, yung loyalty niya nasa iba. At ikatlo, si Dole Secretary Laguesma, na hindi mo rin nakikita, no? Wala ring marka. Yun yung mga nanganganib, no? Pero meron ding mga tinutulak na dapat din matanggal, katulad ng Department of Health, si Ted Herbosa, na lagi rin nasa abroad, wala rin masyado rito. Tapos marami ring mga lumalabas na mga issues sa pagpapatakbo ng DOH. Lumalabas din yung tourism dahil nga yung pre-pandemic targets na 8 million, 5 million lang yung na-deliver. No? Tapos meron siyang controversial na proposal na targeting the Chinese market. Na pwede na sila mag-apply online ng mga visa, yung mga Chinese. Medyo may political repercussions yan dahil nga nasa gitna tayo ng isang invasion from China. At ikatlo, yung nabanggit nyo, yung finance team. Kung hindi gagalawin yung economic team, at least mag-sacrifice man lang sila ng isa. Dahil yung mga problema sa economy, tatama yan, hahampas yan sa presidente. Kung walang magiging fall guy in a way. No? Dahil growth target na 7%, naging 6%, naging 5%. Hindi ko na alam kung anong percent ngayon eh. Baka alam ni principal. No?
Mga 5.5 to 6, pero less than 6 definitely. Kaya naman daw ng 6 to 7, but of course,
Yes.
yeah, mahirap.
Optimistic na, super optimistic.
Tapos yung mga issues ng self-rated poverty na record high, yung usapin ng record high din na involuntary hunger and starvation, di ba? Tapos yung maraming mga economic issues na kung hindi magkakaroon ng matatanggal kahit man lang isa, lahat yan hahampas sa presidente. Parang sinasabi ng presidente, all's well with the economy. No? Mukhang para sa mga mamayan, not all is well eh. At tinatamaan siya niyan sa mga approval ratings. No? Isang dahilan para sa revamp, para mabago yung approval ratings, di ba? So, yan yung mga problema. Agriculture, nako, yan nagdadrag ng ating growth rate. Di ba? Kailangan ayusin niya yan. Lalo na, ang promisa niya noong nakaraang 2 SONA ay wasakin ang mga kartel. wasakin ang mga hoarders at saka smugglers. Meron bang nangyaring ganon? Meron bang ginawang ganon yung Secretary of Agriculture? Diba? So, kung gusto niya ng reset, kailangan tanggalin niya yung Secretary ng Agriculture. So, et cetera, et cetera.
Oo,
No?
mahirap yung agriculture kasi he's a close friend of the president, isn't he? Si Secretary Tiu Laurel. In fact, today...
Campaign donor.
Oh,
Kahit naman si Soljen Guevara, close friend ng First Lady.
First Lady,
Lahat
First Lady yan.
halos lahat naman niya close friend eh. Pero kung talagang tunay na friend sila, dapat willing silang to fall on their sword.
Kailangan i-unfriend.
Oo, yun yung mga tunay na friend.
Kailangan i-unfriend.
Yung tunay na friend, they have to protect the principal. Diba?
Yan,
They protect the principal eh. No, even to the extent of falling on their sword. Hindi literally hindi literally, baka isipin ni literally eh.
Hindi, I was just gonna say na, kita mo ngayon, kakabalik lang niya sa from the ASEAN Summit in Malaysia. He got back 3 a.m. By today, nagpunta na siya sa farms, sa Metro Pacific Fresh Farms, kasama si Agriculture Secretary Tiu Laurel, of course. So isn't that significant din? Na parang in there to symbolize their closeness. One of his first stops is talagang, to check out the farms, tapos
Agriculture yan, siyempre kasama mo yung Agriculture Secretary.
Pero wala tayong
ASEAN, kasama niya si Manalo eh.
Well, doon sa ASEAN,
Tanggal na
kasama
si
niya
Manalo.
eh. Doon sa ASEAN,
Oo,
kasama
tanggal
niya
na
si
si
Manalo,
Manalo.
pero tinanggal din. Diba?
Oo.
So,
yung
tapos yung kanyang kanyang revamp, natatabunan yung kanyang press con sa ASEAN. Yung impeachment. Ang ko nga, what was that about? Dahil parang tapos na yung public posturing dun eh. Diba? Nakalampas na dun yung booth eh. Tapos na yung midterm election, di ba? Tapos na yung impeachment. Hindi ko maintindihan ba't kinakailangan niyang ulit-ulitin yon except to demoralize.
Tinanong siya eh. Kasi mag-uumpisa na yung impeachment. Kasi mag-uumpisa na yung trial. Kasalanan niya nating mga media.
Oo. I have to agree.
Oo.
Tinanong kasi siya ulit eh.
Hindi siya yun.
Yes, pero dapat...
Kaya nga sabi niya, bakit pa ulit-ulit siya tinatanong? Why do I have to keep saying it? Sabi niya eh.
Dapat dinribble na lang niya. O kaya, next question, di ba?
Walang...
Ang mangyayari dyan, yung kanyang mga troops in the middle of a war, of a political war, madedemoralize lang. Di ba? Ikalawa, yung mga kalaban niya, magkakaroon ng fuel to burn. Na magagamit ng mga kalaban niya yung kanyang press con eh, yung sinabi niya. So, dapat yun ang purpose ng handler ng presidente. Dapat may nag-a-advise di ba? Boss. Iwas tayo sa ganyan, boss. No? Gagamitin ng kalaban natin yan. No? Madedemoralize yung ating mga kakampi. Baka mawalan tayo ng kakampi niyan. Dapat may nagsasabi sa kanya ng ganon. No? Yun yung problema.
Nakakapaniwala ba yun, Ronald, na talagang walang yung... Kasi sabi ko nga impeachment is a numbers game. It's a political process eh. Nakita naman natin kung sino na nagpadala ng impeachment complaint. Kahit ang nag-initiate nun, hindi niya kakampi. Ang nag-endorse nun by a majority, overwhelmingly, was the supermajority, hindi ba? Paano yun?
Correct.
Yung unang signatory, yung anak niya.
Oo nga, hindi lang siya supermajority.
Yung huling signatory, yung pinsan niya.
Hindi lang siya supermajority, 260 congressman yung bumoto. Tapos nauna yung anak niya. May paliwanag pa yung anak niya. Ipapahukay yung lolo ko at itatapos sa West Philippine Sea. Diba? Ang paliwanag ni Toby Chanko ay na-pressure. Parang hindi maganda yung itsura ng anak niya kung ganun ang paliwanag. Na-pressure. Diba? Tapos gagamitin niya sigurado ng mga kalaban mo. No? Gagamitin niya sigurado ng mga kalaban mo. So, dapat hindi na niya ginawa yun. No? Dapat hindi na niya ginawa. Dapat sinabi na lang niya, next question please.
yung sa mga agencies na na-mention mo, Ronald, I have to be fair and stand up for some of them. For example, tourism. Hindi naman totally kasalanan ng Secretary because after COVID, a lot of countries in the region lost Chinese travelers. Nag-slow down talaga. And of course, with the geopolitics between the Philippines and China, talagang we saw major declines. And they really were alternately with the US, number one source of visitor arrival. So wala ka na magagawa
No,
doon.
ang number one natin was Korea.
Ay, Korea pala. Sorry. It's
For
always
the past several years,
Yes,
Korea.
it's always Korea, China, or US. So nagpapalit-palit sila ng position. But wala ka na magagawa, of course, if there's geopolitics between you and one country, tapos nag-slow down yung visitor arrivals. But yung question ko is, why is it taking so long for the to decide on the frontline agencies, di ba? Kunyari, DPWH or DSWD. DPWH is coming up to a major rebuild with EDSA, right? And yun pa lang.
Pero Reg, yung nagsaset ng mga targets, hindi naman tayo eh. Sila naman yung nagsaset ng targets eh. Knowing all these variables, knowing all these factors. Parang sa housing, yung Secretary ng Housing ay nagset ng 3 million houses na target sector. Diba? Ang na-produce is 240,000. Kaya natanggal siya. Diba? Sarili nilang targets yan eh. Hindi yan target nung 2022. Targets yan every other year eh. So, ayusin nila yung target nila para hindi sila masukat based on their targets. Ganon din yung economic team. These are their targets eh. Diba? Hindi naman to targets ng civil society eh. Targets ito nung ating economic team. No? Ganon din yung target ng agriculture, etc., etc. So, we are measuring them based on their own targets.
Well, to be fair, inflation has gone down na. Nasa 1.8% na last month. And it's
Kaso nararamdaman pa ng tao.
Nag-slow down, pero nararamdaman pa rin.
Yun yung pan eh.
Lalo na sa food, dahil mahilig ako magluto, saka lagi ako lagi ko namimili ng pagkain eh. Maakit pa rin yung presyo. Kahit in increments lang yan, small increments, iniisip ng mga tao, bakit tumaas na naman ang itlog ngayon? Bakit ayaw bumaba ng presyo ng bigas? Bakit, merong ganong perception pag namamalengki ka.
Halimbawa, yung tama kay Secretary Lutila doon sa energy ay dahil hindi nila ipababa yung presyo ng kuryente. Di ba? Ang sabi niya, hindi na tayo ang highest sa region. Ang highest na ay Singapore. Ang layo naman ng standard of living na Singapore sa Pilipinas.
Oo nga eh.
So yun ang kanyang paliwanag na hindi na tayo ang highest. No? Singapore na raw sa Southeast Asia. Parang yung mga ganong klaseng paliwanag, lalo silang malulubog sa kumunoy eh. Paano, hindi makakarelate ang mga tao eh. No? Hindi makakarelate. Kukumpara mo yung Pilipinas sa Singapore.
Si Secretary Lutilla, was that a demotion? Di ba he just parang na-move lang siya to DENR, which is also a crucial portfolio.
Yun pa yung isang problema,
Do
di
you
ba?
see it as a demotion?
Yun pa yung isang problema. Pag nag-revamp ka, seryosohin mo na revamp, wala na rigo doon.
Hindi musical chairs.
Lalo na kung sinabi ni E.S. Bersamin na kaya sila natanggal because of inefficiency or corruption. Tapos ilalagay mo sila sa ibang posisyon. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Inefficiency ba yun o corruption? Nanggaling yung kay E.S. Bersamin nung tinanong siya ng media. Bakit sila tinatanggal? Either inefficiency or corruption or both. So ano nangyari kay Lutila? Bakit siya tinanggal? O pagpalagay na natin yung mas cap pool, inefficiency. Ba't siya ililipat sa isang napakahalagang department katulad ng environment? So, hindi mo na unawaan yung logic.
Well, kaya nga, the other way to look at it is, hindi ba this is a vote of confidence for Secretary Lutilla? Kasi baka naman ang goal doon is tanggalin lang si Secretary Loizaga, and then since wala pang kapalit, si Secretary Popo na nilagay, since meron din naman siyang background in climate and development.
Kaso hindi ganun na nangyari. Tinanggal siya dahil ang tingin sa kanya, hindi niya na-deliver yung kanyang targets sa energy. No? Maliban pa from the very start, parang regulatory capture yan dahil nanggaling siya sa isang company, isang kumpanya na na-involved sa energy. No? So, ako, I'm almost sure tinanggal siya hindi para ilipat.
Mm.
No, tinanggal siya dahil gusto siyang tanggalin doon sa kanyang department.
Okay. Sorry, I think we're supposed to go on a short break. You are watching Storycon on One News. You just need to take a very quick break. We'll be right back. Please stay with us. Welcome back. We've got the developing news and the stories behind the headlines. This is the Story Conference or Storycon. I'm Regina Lay. Still with us, Ami Pamintuan of the Philippine Star and Ronald Llamas, our resident political pundit na nasa... Saan ka
El
ngayon?
Nido.
El Nido.
El Nido.
Nagbi-beach na lang si Ronald.
Nag-i-snorkeling.
Ha?
Nag-i-snorkeling.
Nagbabakasyon.
Buti ka pa, bakasyon. Kamusta yung concert?
Ang ganda-ganda ng snorkeling dyan, Ronald.
Kakatapos lang, Reg. Pabalik na naman Manila.
Wala, apart from the... Ito yung atin...
Escorted by
Oo.
2 Coast Guard vessels.
Apart from yung shadowing ng Chinese Coast Guard, wala na ibang incidents?
Wala na, maliban sa umulan na malakas.
Talaga?
Nawala ako.
Kaya ginawa yung concert sa loob ng boat.
Sayang naman. Pero,
Pero okay naman. Okay
Oo.
naman.
ito yung...
Okay naman.
Sa mga di nakakalam, ito yung atin ito coalition that sailed to Pag-asa nung Sunday. Sunday ba yun? Saturday. Here we're looking at si Rafaela David kanina, yung isa sa mga conveners ng atin ito coalition. Ito yung Sail Concert for Peace ba yun? Yung tawag din, Ronald?
Yes, yes. Galing dun sa mga iba't ibang mga Southeast Asian countries. Korea, Japan, Indonesia, Malaysia, Vietnam. No? So, iba't ibang mga... First time na nagsama-sama yung iba't ibang mga bansa para sa peace. Actually, inimbitahan yung China eh. Pero hindi sila nag-participate. Pero inimbitahan sila.
Ito yung sinasabi mo yung mga P-pop, K-pop groups, no?
Dalawang K-pop.
Oo nga, nakarelate ka ba? Nakarelate ka ba, Ronald?
First time ako nakarinig ng K-pop. Wala ko yung Peter Paul and Mary ako, at saka Joan Baez. John Denver, no? Mga ganyan.
Hindi na kilala. Hindi na yan kilala na
Hindi na kila.
Uy, mas magagaling na singer yun. Di hamak, ha? No?
Then what? Magaling din naman yung mga K-pop.
Nalapakinggan ko yung iMont na K-pop, eh. Okay na, nag-shut off na ako.
Hawayin ka ng mga ng Army.
Ng mga, oo.
BTS Army.
Yung Horizon pala, marami
Hawayin
palang
ka
fans
niyan.
yan.
Oo.
Yung Horizons, marami palang fans yun.
Yes.
Oo,
Yung
sikat yan.
Horizon, mga Pinoy
Sikat yan.
na nakatira sa Korea.
Ah.
At sa successful K-pop, pero mga Pinoy.
Sikat siyang Horizon.
Oo.
Wow.
Pero nag-enjoy ka ba sa music? Pero
Tawa
Ronald,
na.
you're saying inimbita yung China
Yes. Imbita sila. No?
through the embassy?
Oh, to the embassy. 2 months ago.
Anong sinagot ng embassy?
1 month ago.
Dinedma?
Deadma.
Nagdedma lang. Walang
Nagdedma
sagot
lang.
talaga.
Oo. Nag-deadma lang.
Okay. We were supposed to have somebody from MMDA today, pero biglang hindi na sumasagot ng phone.
So, talaga, nalaman yatang galit na galit ka eh. Hindi daw may bago ngayon. Hindi daw exempted ang mga doctors, even on emergency call from the odd even scheme.
Yes.
Sa EDSA.
Paano kaya
Kailangan
yun?
maghanap din sila ng Kailangan maghanap din sila ng alternate routes.
Paano kaya
Kung odd
yun?
even sila.
So walang
Ang sabi,
exempted.
ang paliwanag nila, trial run lang naman daw. Trial run. Kung talaga hindi uubra, edi ililift, babalik na naman nila. Parang kung na naman daw sila nag-iisip ng mga out-of-the-box answers. Oo.
Pero bakit siyang doctor on emergency call hindi pwede, pero yung mga hybrid vehicle sa hindi
Mali
pwede.
yun. Mali yun.
Diba?
Oo. Dapat yung mga doctors, parang mga journalist yan.
Hindi kasama media, lilinawin natin. Hindi rin exempted ang media.
Oo nga.
Kaya nga.
Oo nga, kahit
Dapat parang media yan, no? Dapat exempted yung mga yan.
kahit
No?
na
Doctors on call lang.
Oo nga.
Pwera na lang kung si Reg sasakay ng motorsiklo. Pwera na lang. Ayan.
Ayun, nakahilera yung motor talaga, na ano
No.
sila oh. Talagang doon lang sila sa lane nila.
No thanks pa rin, Ronald.
Yeah.
But oo nga, walang exemptions. Akala ko pa rin, so kahit malilate na tayo sa show, sorry ka na lang, mag-zoom na lang tayo. But there's still, sa totoo lang, so Transport Secretary Vince Dizon gave an interview to our show last night. Sabi niya, inamin niya na the rebuild was not meant to fix traffic to begin with. They know that. Inamin niya na, okay, we acknowledge it's not meant to fix traffic, but it has to be done. My question there is, but why
Bakit
now? Right? Why do we have to force this
Yeah.
now? Ang alam ko, nag-start tong
Yeah.
conversation na to in time for ASEAN, to fix the road in time for
Yeah.
ASEAN.
That's what they're saying. That's what the government is saying, ASEAN. Mahirap ibenta yan sa tao, ha? Na ha? What do you think, Ronald? Ikaw? Kapag sinabi mo sa mga tao, bakit we are stuck here and we're not being allowed to use our cars on this major thoroughfare 3 times a week, for ASEAN. Magigets ba yun ng mga tao? Sige nga.
Baka yung approval rating ni PBBM maging negative na.
Oh.
Oo nga
Hindi ako bihira akong dumaan sa EDSA, pero iniisip ko yun ang magiging dating dyan Bakit ba inaayos to? Nagkukuhaan na nga ng picture ngayon mga tao nung kalye. Hindi naman sira. Ano ba ayusin dito?
Exactly.
No, I'm just saying, naggaganyanan na mga tao. Alin ba nga ayusin dito at kailangan isara ng gusto?
Oo.
Ganyan yung lumalabas ngayon.
Exactly. And even the announcement of this whole odd-even scheme, the whole traffic alleviation plan, medyo magulo. Kasi, even us, we have a lot of questions. Hindi klaro sa atin how it's going to be implemented, how it will work together with the number coding scheme. Remember, number coding scheme is still in effect
Wala
sa
bang number coding?
LGUs. It's still
Hindi
in
siya
effect.
sasabay sa odd-even sa EDSA.
Sa EDSA lang. Pero kung, let's say, galing ka
EDSA.
ng Makati, tatagos ka ng EDSA, you have 2 things to look at the start of the day. Saan ba ako dadaan? What window hours there are? Ano ba yung plaka ko? There's so many things. Parang, it's like, the burden is always on us, on the commuters. So, yeah. Ang daming...
Hindi ba kasama sa Hindi ba kasama sa revamp yung head ng MMDA?
Hindi Hindi. He
Hindi.
tendered.
Cabinet level yon. He tendered his courtesy
tendered.
resignation.
Cabinet level
Cabinet
yun.
level yon
Oo. Pero,
Kasama
yeah.
siya sa courtesy resignation.
Sabi ni...
In fact, widened na yan yung courtesy resignation, pati mga bureau chiefs, saka heads of agencies, kasama sila. Binigyan sila ni ES Bersamin after ma-confirm na hindi siya tatanggalin. Kaya medyo na-delay yung pagbigay niya. Nung kinonfirm siya, saka pinadalhan yung mga bureau chiefs, yung ibang agency heads, na you also have to tender your unqualified courtesy resignation. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng Ronald? Ano yung unqualified?
Ibig sabihin, walang kahit anong consideration. No, talagang...
Pero honestly,
Unqualified.
okay, so let's say mag-tender siya and let's say palitan siya. Are there really that many people to choose from? Hindi ba medyo maliit din yung pool? Honest question, Ronald.
From the civil service, marami, may mga succession yan Pero kung yung appointees, ewan ko.
Ang problema kasi nila, nung nawasak yung unit team, at ang pinanggalingan ni BBM, yung 6 na taon ni Digong, siyempre, maliit yung pool. Pag pinag-uusapan yung pool na loyal sa kanya, di ba? Dahil nga, kakatapos lang ng previous government at kakawasak lang ng unit team, so saan siya kukuha ng mga tao? Di ba? Para ilagay dyan. Yung mga original na Marcos loyalists, either mga patay na o sobrang tanda na. So wala siyang pagkukuhanan ng pool. Ang alam ko, natitira na lang Marcos loyalist, si Gadon.
Yung chief legal counsel, ikaw naman.
Ay, chief legal counsel.
Chief legal counsel, Marcos Senior pa yon.
Pero lumaban sa kanila yun, di ba? Pinabagsak nga sila sa isang pool. Diba? Yun nga yun. Kaya nga nagkaroon ng EDSA dahil sa pool nila.
Eh, bati na sila uli. Bati na uli, oh.
Oo. So,
Ah.
so, baka hindi ko siya tawagin na Marcos loyalist.
Hindi pa
So,
unknown loyalties. Pero,
So, saan kung paano, babalansin mo ang loyalty dun sa competence. No? Tapos, dadagdag mo dun sa loyalty and competence, yung dapat siya ay may PR. Di ba? May PR dahil mahalaga yung messaging Mahalaga yung yung narrative So, yung mga tipong Vince Dizon, di ba, na 2 buwan pa lang, araw-araw na nasa TV. Araw-araw na sa kalsada. Kailangan niya ng mga cabinet secretary na gano'n. Papataasin yung approval rating niya. Hindi babatakin pababa. At hindi yung mga tahimik. Hindi yung mga tahimik na cabinet secretary dahil nasa gitna siya ng gera Diba?
that's
Eh kung Ronald, kung kukuha from new allies, yan.
new ally.
Posible ba yon from new alliances?
Sino ba yung new allies?
Sino ba yung new alliances? Yung Storycon? Yan ba yung
Tayo akbayan,
The Big Story? Ano?
akbayan.
Hindi nga sasama sa majority yun Sa Senate or sa House Hindi sila sasama sa majority So,
Yung ML.
Oo.
Oh.
Yung ML, nagsalita na si Laila de Lima na hindi din sila sasama sa majority. At saka hindi rin naman ganun kalalaki yun di ba? So, baka pwedeng kumuha sila yung talagang private sector.
Oo.
Private sector talaga.
Pero,
Yung hindi masyadong political.
oo. That's a good point. Kasi nung in-announce nga nila yung cabinet reset, sila na mismo nagsabi, the criteria are competence, alignment. I guess yun yung ibig sabihin ng alignment. Where are you politically aligned, right? If I understood it correctly. Pero oo nga, I guess if they're only picking from yung mga loyalists, then baka nga mahirap. I'm being told to wrap up, sorry. That's all the time we have for today. Ronald, salamat for dialing in from all the way from Paradise. Thanks so much for joining StoryCon today. Ami Pamintuan, Editor-in-Chief of the Philippine Star, and Ronald Llamas, a resident political pundit. Join us again tomorrow, 4 p.m. for StoryCon. I'm Regina Lay. We are One News, all sides, all the time.